good. 4 nights you cut Luna CK because you want SF. Yeah. I think I would cut Bow out of CK unless I was in Trolls. Like, in the other, I don't know. I mean, I like Luna. It really just depends on your 3-star progress. Like, you can cut anything. You can cut, like, Batrider, Omni Knight, CK. It just depends on, like, what's looking like it's getting to 3-star. It's sort of similar to Assassins. I don't believe in Luna anymore. But just, like, mana charging or something.
It's going to be great working with you.
Ah, I forgot to put an empty board on round 1. God damn it. I'm not paying attention.
Ready to hunt.
It's just because Abaddon and Omni Knight got buffed. It's true. Luna does have like less unique value as a 3-star. Please explain what you mean by leaving. Oh, in my title, 2 streams before I leave. Okay. I'm going on a little trip. I'm going on a little vacay, you know. God, I hate Vip Booster. I'm going to visit family for 2 days in Vegas. And then I'm heading off to the WePlay Studios in Kiev to cast an Underlords event. It's the WePlay tournament that you might know, like right now a lot of players are playing in. Basically the qualifiers for today. I'm casting like the main stage for the same tournament. I have it on 600 damage AoE. Yeah, it's true. It is nutty. Yeah, I mean, that might just outcompete Luna. At the same time, I mean, Luna's still easier to complete. I mean, it should be, right? I don't know. There's more 2 costs in the game than 3 costs right now. God, am I really going Knights 3 games in a row, guys? I mean, we have the Fall from Grace, and I do like Knights. I should have health on Lycan and Chainmail on Tiny, I think. God, this is so weird. I like this entire pack. I think I'm supposed to sell my Lycan. I think I have to. I don't know, man. It's like, I think it's important to kind of diversify and like not play the same thing every game. But the game is telling me to go Knights again. I guess Hunters can use Fall from Grace. I don't really like Hunters, and I don't think they're nearly as good with Fall from Grace as Knights are. Knights are just like the perfect Fall from Gracers, right?
Best not leave me on the sidelines.
I don't know. I like me an early Lycan, but this pack is too good, and I don't really want to lock for just the Lycan. Maybe I should have locked for just that Lycan. It's kind of weird. Could have actually been worth it. We did have the double drow as well. That could like work in the mid game. We could do like some early hunters and transition into knights. God, that actually might have been a lock. Should have this adjacent to the drow. Hunters Rick can Fall from Grace? Yeah, now they do. Like, now that Lycan is a hunter, Hunters and Fall from Grace kind of work together. But you still, I mean, you don't want to be in Hunters Fall from Grace. You'd rather be in, like, Knights Fall from Grace. I don't know, dude. I kind of hate Druids until Enchantress gets to level 2. At which point, I'd be better off running a Treant than a Furion anyway. This is consideration to sell either the Witch Doctor or both of the Tinies. But I like Tiny. And Tiny likes me too. Okay, let's actually fix this god-awful positioning. So this is enough of a front line here. Just because, yeah, we can just keep our knights apart from each other. I think Luna should be, like, behind here. As soon as one of them kills their first target, they're gonna walk to each other anyway, right? Is it actually better for them to be there? It's kind of weird. I don't know, dude. Fall from Grace is just so perfect in Knights. Because Knights are just like the ultimate, just like grind your opponent down. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
I don't miss.
Excuse me? Do I have to lock this? I don't understand. I don't... Ah. I could have just taken out Pudga. If I sell Pudga and Axe... I can't lock this. I just sell like double enchant or something. I have to be out of enchants now. The question is... I don't know, maybe I need the other Luna. So Axe double enchants, but I have to sell the Pudga. I think selling the Pudga is fine. Selling the Pudga might not be fine.
Nova might win this all on her own.
I don't like locking. I'd rather like get a free roll and then complain when the roll doesn't give me what I want. It just seems like the plus EV play every time. Also, as much as Witch Doctor early is kind of cute, I don't think it's better than this interest point. I like interest.
Grant no quarter.
And I like Witch Doctor pair. It's just like a 2-cost pair is such a... It's such a bait. Like, you can literally just... You can lose so much net worth just looking at this 2-cost pair. That's not even really essential to your build. Like, Witch Doctor's not even good until you get the bat upgraded as well. So it's like... I'm kind of on, like, 2 hanging outs, you know? Yo, Hulking McNutty. What's up, man? Welcome to the 1/8 Gay Club. So the reason it's easier to 3-star ABBA, Omni, and SF is because 1/3 costs have the same % odds as finding a 2-cost or whatever at 8, as well as you're buying 3 different 3 costs. Yeah. No, of course. The buying 3 different 3 costs argument, it is true. There's nothing I can complete here, right? We can complete Warlocks with Venomancer. Does that do anything? We got Abaddon, it must do something. As well as when you buy one and you get the others, others that need your blacklisting and claiming shit at the same time. Just waiting for Luna to appear. As well as there being less 3 costs than 2 costs. It is true. But at the same time, I do have... What is it? On level 8, it's the same roll possibility as like 2s and 3s. You're buying them out of the pool. But you're also like diluting your own pick at the same time. I don't know. It's pretty close to even, right? Because like the 3 cost tier also self-dilutes more than the 2 cost tier, just because there's fundamentally less of it in the pool. Like if I have 8 Abaddons versus 8 Lunas, it's harder for me to find the last one on Abaddon versus Luna. It basically balances out with the fact that you're pulling 3 costs out of the pool, but CK is also 2 as well. It's got to be pretty close. I want this interest point. Can I sell my tiny level 2 for this interest point? Is that like insane? If I sell both Razors, Pudge, and Venomancer, I'm 1 gold away. Shit! I think it's probably insane for me to sell tiny level 2. I really like interest points, guys. Like, I just don't think I can sell a tiny level 2. God damn it. We're the only one on Knights? God, that feels so good. So Fall from Grace is just so perfect with Knights, because like they're inhuman. And they're just like, they have the natural defense, they just want to be able to kind of punch through a little bit faster and just win like the long fight. Like, Fall from Grace, when you compare it to, like, Assassins or Hunters, you can easily play into your lose condition with Fall from Grace.
The spoils
Right?
of
Super,
war.
super easily. Because you can get, like, bursted down really easily. Which is why, you know, I say it's important to, like, combine offense with defense. And Knights already kind of have the natural defense. Fall from Grace with, like, Hunters or Assassins is not bad, but it's just not as secure as it is with Knights. Like, I just see this as such a Knight item. This is like the Knight global they never had. Because Age of Chivalry is like, I don't... Age of Chivalry is weird. It's not a Knight item, right? It's like, it's kind of more like a troll item. I think it makes more sense in like 4 trolls than anything else. Because you don't want to run that many Knights with it. Interest. Point. Must. I think missing this interest is just gonna have to be okay, honestly.
There our prey.
I think it does have to be. I mean, the Pudge pair and getting my Shadow Fiend on the board 1 turn sooner. If I hit this interest point, I'll lose both of those. Shadow Fiend on the board for 1 turn sooner, it does actually matter. Because, like, I do want to build a new streak. Way more consistency, 3 starting 3 cost and 2 cost over the course of my games on all builds. I wonder if there's some additional factor I'm not thinking of that would explain that. I could see it being like slightly better than 2 costs. At the end of the day, though, it just comes down to what you have more of. Like if I have 5 Lunas and 3 Omni Knights, like I'm going for the Luna over the Omni. Well, I mean, I'm rolling and we hope to hit either, but like I'm gonna sell the one I'm like further away from, I think. Well, unless it's like very close. We need like damage items too, though. You're just getting 4 Knight 4 Warlock makes everything invincible. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see Age in 4 Knight 4 Warlock because it protects you like your Shadow Fiend more. If I get like a level 2 or a level 3 Age, 4 Knights make more sense. I like it. The thing about Age of Chivalry that's like a little bit counterintuitive at first is it looks like it gets better the more knights you have. It basically doesn't, because, well, it buffs by the amount of knights you have adjacent. Adjacency is like limited by feasible squares, and also it only buffs non-knights. And this isn't necessarily immediately intuitive to people, but ooh, can we just get out of Pudge already? I don't know why I've been in Pudge this entire time. I'm supposed to put this in over Tiny, and then Abaddon over Drow, so that we get 4 knights. I did that too slow. But basically, it's like the more knights you have, the less non-knights you have, and it only buffs non-knights, right? So, it's Age of Chivalry kind of maximizes with 2 or 4 knights. So it's not really a, and that's why it's kind of better with trolls, because a troll, like a 4 troll build, which, like I said, I don't think 4 trolls is really viable competitively right now. I don't think there's any reason to run it at all. But a 4 troll build, in theory, would be able to use Age of Chivalry a lot better than an actual knight build. And the same is true for like 4 Knight 4 Warlock. It's probably the best usage of Age of Chivalry here. So you have to get a 4 knights. It doesn't just have to be Drow gone, right? Like, I mean, we simply can't remove Shadow Fiend or Alchemist. That would be insane. And now suddenly we need this interest point, which means we have to sell either the Drow or Tiny, and it's very easily the Tiny, right? Because the Drow could actually find a new place in if we hit the, if we want like a 4th Heartless from something for a bit. I don't know. She's probably also not finding a place in here. TBQH. Do you think that tier 5 Radiance nerfed Batrider? No. Radiance on Batrider was kind of a meme. I mean, it was kind of okay sometimes. Like, it was probably worse than, like, Maelstrom on Batrider. I mean, Radiance on Batrider looks good if you just, like, look at Reddit and see, like, screenshots of, people just getting, like, 17k damage. It's kind of like the same reason Vicious Intent looks good if you go to Reddit and you see screenshots of people taking like 170 damage. Something like this. Voidstone has to be an alchemist, I think. I just want to get that down early. Minus armor also, I guess this probably falls off after the first bit. Swing's closest to 0, so like first, right now we're doing a total of -10 with alch level and spray and heartless. It's about the same on both sides. If we had taken the aggressive level, we'd have saved ourselves there. This pre-level hurts our odds at just tier 1s, which is just Batrider, so it's worth it. It's like 3% tier 1 goes into 3% tier 4, which means this pre-level on 17 is worth it over the post-level. There we go. We get a Batrider upgrade anyway. So now suddenly Drow finds a place for, like, kind of a hot second while we're chilling, right? Jesus. Okay. We lose 2 Warlock for that. So it's like, until we get Necrophos, it could be kind of awkward. I think with the Fall from Grace builds, I don't know. We did need to sell the Shadow Fiend. We hit the same point without selling the Shadow Fiend. So selling the Shadow Fiend is pointless. I think I'd rather be in 6 Knights right now. It feels a little bit safer. If we, as soon as we find the Necrophos, we have like the perfect dream level 8 board, because we have 6 Knights and 4 Undead with Fall from Grace, which is super good. And of course Necrophos completes Warlock at the same time. So the Necrophos is just like the god tier pickup here after we're 8. Our roll value is shit until then though. I don't know. There's an argument to have like kept at 4 Knights. I think that we still, like, you know, have decent demon value. It feels better with, it does feel better with Fall from Grace being in 6 Knights, I think. It seems to make more sense to me. Because, like, Warlocks do a lot of, like, non-physical damage, whereas Knights are going to be doing more physical. So stuff like Shadow Fiend is, you know, doing pure damage and magic damage. Something like, you know, the other Warlocks you run, which are usually, like, Disruptor. It's Disruptor or Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is maybe better if you have Coordinated Assault. But those are dealing more, I mean, we could roll a few times. I don't know if there's any reason to here. We should not have the booster on our level 2 though. Wish we had 1 or 2 damage items at least. Like 1 damage item. This would be like, this is the exact kind of game which is why Gloves of Haste is so good. Because just having like 1 damage item on your DPS, like when you don't find like any mid-game DPS items, Makes such a big difference. Yeah, we're losing my team. So we can't like keep our streak up, but I think that's fine. No Viper for later. I mean, there's kind of no reason not to buy it. I think it's kind of unlikely I'm going to want it. Basically, as soon as we hit 21, round 21, I'm just going to roll until we find a Necro. At least. Probably more, depending on how long it takes to find a Necro. Necro is simply too good on this board. It just completes everything we need. Viper for later is never happening. I agree. I don't even really like this better than Puck. I mean, we can keep the Shadow Fiends as an option open. So yeah, we don't want to run Pudge on Produce Isle. It should be fun. It's just like Alchemist on Tomato. Potato will die like super early. I think that's fine. I think it's basically like, I mean, this guy like, maybe we did kill him too early. Yeah. Like the thing is, it's so, the margin for error skews so much on the side of Potato. Ugh. Vanguard's not the single best thing here, but I'm just locked into this. It's okay. Like a big chonky 3-star unit is gonna have like really good EHP with this. I wish I had a damage item though. Damage item would feel a lot better. Don't even want that. Yeah, this is weird. Should sell Shadow Fiend. I think I'm just on. I'm just stuck on 6 Knights. So selling Shadow Fiend would have possibly got me in. It's just pointless. It's silly to have this. Like nobody's on Knights. I have a Fall from Grace. I have 5 Lunas, 4 CKs. Like I can't escape 6 Knights here. There's just no way. I think the Fall from Grace. I really do like Fall from Grace more for the more Knights version than the 4 Warlocks. Coordinated Assault is like arguably better for the Warlock version though, because then you've got like Shadow Fiend being an additional ranged unit, picking up a buff to obviously fix my positioning here. And really, the second Alchemist is doing basically nothing. We could have something that's like just more efficient there instead. I mean, I could just buy a Witch Doctor to put it in just in case I like don't find what I'm looking for. But I wish my board was hitting anything here. Jesus. Probably worth working on a 3-star Abaddon. It's like, it's pretty dumb to not buy that Abaddon. My positioning here is all off. Keep the option open. These rolls felt bad though. He blew like 40 plus gold. No Necro, we found like what, like 1 Luna or something. Let's actually like fix this positioning a bit. I think we kind of need to chill at 20 here. I don't know, dude. Necro is such a big out. I mean, we have to be out of Disruptor, right? Like we have no choice but to be out of Disruptor. I don't know, as much as I like Disruptor, it's just like the 6 Knight build is one that's not really for it. Alchemist wants to be a bit more centralized. Knights are a little awkward to position. Alchemist and Necro want to be like somewhat a little bit centralized because their radiuses spawn at their heroes. It's pretty solid value. But at the same time, if they're like, you know, I mean, if they're in the middle of your comp, then sometimes your Knights are a bit split up. I think it's okay having him here, though. Oh, this guy has like the fire glow. Oh, shit. That's crazy. It's 24. I don't know, man. I kind of want to sell like an Abaddon at a Batrider here. Feels like we're at the risk of this game ending kind of early. Like, everyone's at 40 health. Everyone's, like, blowing their load. It's 24. Our 3-star odds just aren't that good. And our economy is kind of shit. It's like, the thing is, in an ideal world, you know, maybe we have 5 Abaddons. If our economy was better, if we had, like, found what we were looking for a little bit faster, and we had, like, 50 gold instead of 30 right now, I think the prospect of completing the Abaddon is actually just like there. Or if this game was looking like it was going longer, if like me and some of the guy had like more health, but people are blowing the loads left and right here. I don't think this is gonna be going on long enough. And my economy is just like, I'm only at 30 gold. Yo, Joens132, what's up, man? Welcome to the 1-8 Club. Hey, that works. Why not? That dream's alive. Can't hit this interest point though, which is a little unfortunate. Still want this Abaddon. You might reroll aggressively too early. Never roll down to sub 30 gold before 25. Well, it's more about your outs than your amount, right? It's more about like, I don't really like the idea of looking at it based on the gold out amounts. It's like how valuable your roll is, which is based on your outs, how stable your board is, like your strength in the lobby. I don't think your gold remaining is, it's like kind of third or fourth factor. And we have to be on the Omni train. We lose to this guy. We need like a stun ball. He's attacking our Omni, which is nice because we have like Purify and stun ball. But we have like no DPS. This guy just beats us, I think. We need to stun ball for another Purify. Purify is 10 seconds. We're dead. This level 1 CK is so peepee hands, dude. We get a stun ball coming in hot. Oh, 1 second. Well, at least we drew. I guess when you draw creeps, it's the same as losing, right? It's like, it gives you the previous tier. Maelstrom on Bat, sweet. Batrider, obviously a good Maelstrom target, because he has extra attack speed if we're completing trolls, which I guess we're not. And, you know, it scales with his natural stuff. I don't think in this game I can avoid rolling right now. This game's ending too fast. CK upgrade is sweet. Still want this Necro. It said victory, so I guess the draw is a win. Wait, seriously? Draw is winning on creeps? Interesting. Interesting. Draw is winning on creeps, which means one way of beating like Wild Wings. I guess it only matters for Wild Wings. But one way of beating them is to just tank up and force a draw. That's kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, my board isn't really in a position where I can greed. I'd love to greed here. We're still like the DK and mostly the... I don't know. I mean, this Luna's just doing too little. Oh, fucking finally. Holy shit. I think Necro makes this makes this board a lot better immediately. It's just like completing both these alliances while just being a good unit. It's such a big deal. And I think this is like, I don't know, this is kind of how I think rolling is. If this was a different game, I would have greeted this. like if we felt more stable. But my board was very weak. It was close to an out that makes it very strong. And now I can kind of greed again. I think my health is okay enough. We're close enough to the creep round. I can greed up to 31 and then roll it down. And that will maximize my odds at like the Luna and the Omni Knight completing. That being said, if I get hit hard on 28, I might have to roll prematurely. We'll see. Just Tinker 3-star. 500 millisecond cooldown. Monka Giga. Uh-oh. Oh, shit! We got hit fairly hard on 28. Can we really get chunked for 31 over 2? I do not want to roll this down. Maybe like to 1 out. Do we beat these other 2 players? This guy's got double Shadow Fiend. The Assassin's player might beat me. I don't think I can greed this spot. Game's too close to ending. So we're on double Omni, double Luna. This guy's out. Nobody's on our stuff. And a DK. So we're on like 3 things we're looking for. Yeah, Bat Maelstrom is sweet. Like I said, I think this might have been just better than Radiance before. I mean, it was at least about as good. Extra damage applying to Napalm. So the thing about Batrider's Napalm is the extra damage is everything that sorts to Batrider, which is Radiance Ticks, it's Maelstrom, Lightning. I think it's Skull Basher proc as well. I'm not 100% sure. So he's just kind of like an inherently natural Maelstrom carrier. I think it might actually be better on Alchemist though. I guess it's probably better on Alchemist. Since Alchemist has no item. Usually Alchemist ends up with an item, but it's better than on Batrider here. Alchemist just has more attack speed. Maelstrom is just like an attack speed oriented item. Without like a silence or a high degree of DPS, we can't really be beating this guy. These creeps. Would be nice to find something here. Moonshard is sweet at least. Should have had Maelstrom on Alchemist for a while. Because Warlocks also dealing damage because of the Warlock perk. We just haven't been linking. We haven't been actually having Warlocks linked for ages because we didn't find Necro until super late. Would have been nice to be building Abaddon.
My powers were nothing before.
That's neat. Why is Maelstrom better on Alch than Bat? So Maelstrom scales off attack speed. Alchemist has high attack speed. So there's 2 things you're looking for. You're looking for attack speed, you're looking for survivability, and then you're looking for a third thing, which is kind of like added perks, right? So added perks in this case are Batrider's Sticky Napalm, empowering Maelstrom, and Alchemist's lifelink being an increased heal. Heals for 80% of the damage dealt. God, that's so fucking good. Yeah, it's so good on Alchemist. Alchemist is just like the perfect Maelstrom carrier, bar none. So it looks like we're getting knocked out. Mookie Allen's using this new like scrappy mage build that people are running, which looks pretty solid from here. Playing for second, basically. I don't know. I'd like to have Omni further up. Omni just like Omega tanking with Vanguard is probably the better play. I should like have, now that I have a level 3 melee unit and a Vanguard, I think I should have stepped everyone back. My Luna can actually get at this backline now. Delicious, delicious backline. And the problem is the game is just like, I mean, both of us, I can beat this guy, but I lose to Mookie Island. So I don't know if I can actually beat Mookie Island. I think like this Omni with Vanguard, if I move everything else back, we could actually beat him maybe. It's just too late to be on anything that's not named Dragon Knight here. This game is ending far too quickly. Abaddon's isolated. Shouldn't be isolated here. It's just really important that everything attacks his Vanguard Omni Knight. So Vanguard blocks damage, which means I'm reducing opponent's mana gain, because mana gained off of damage is a function of damage dealt to both the attacker and the defender. It's just clamped at a lower floor, well, sorry, a lower ceiling for the attacker, right? It's pretty nice. Wow, we actually almost beat this guy. Very unfortunate. But we did make second place, so I think that's fine. It felt like in a very, very similar game, I could have gone a bit more greedy. We got the 3 stars that we wanted. We had a Moonshard for a 3-star on Luna, which carried us pretty far. I think, like, the one thing is, like, with Knights, it's about going 4 Knights, 4 Warlocks, or 6 Knights, 2 Warlocks, which is basically this build. Alchemist tends to work quite well with how Knights function. I wonder, though, if we have Fall from Grace, maybe I could replace Alchemist for something else. Because the Heartless, the Undead minus armor will be fairly diminishing returns after a certain point. Disruptor? I was thinking Disruptor. Like, if we have Fall from Grace for the Knights build, with Necrophos, it's a shame it's Necro 1. We have 4 Undead pretty easily. It's very accessible. So, I'd have to... Here, let me actually look at the math on this. So I think on average, the first level of Undead is about a 28% DPS increase. I think that's right. It should be a 28% DPS increase, roughly average. It's debatable what average means. And then the second tier of Undead is, what, a 26% DPS increase? That's the second tier of Undead. And then the third tier of Undead, which you could also call Alchemist's thing, goes down to it goes down to a 14% DPS increase. I believe that's correct. So it's like, basically, because we're in 2 levels of Undead, this Alchemist's spray, instead of being in 1 level Undead, this Alchemist spray, instead of being a 26 DPS increase, is a 14 DPS increase. I believe that's correct. I might be looking at this chart a little bit wrong. But I think it does mean that as Acid Spray, the minus armor is effectively about half as effective as it would normally be. Which, that's a big deal. If I'm misinterpreting this, then it's still only like... I think it's at most about 67% as effective as it would normally be if we weren't in so many minus armor already. The one exception being when opponents' units start with high armor. For, like, example, if they were on warriors or something weird like that. Returns from Undead really depend on enemy armor, of course, but at the same time, with except for strange exceptions like warriors, we can still generalize. So, I think that the Fall from Grace could actually have inclined us towards a different Warlock than Alchemist. We could have gone for... I guess it would have had to have been Disruptor, right? I don't know. I could also have seen Witch Doctor. I mean, even spreading Coordinated Assault a little bit further is not useless. And it's like 10% attack speed on our entire team. Witch Doctor does not feel like as high tier as just like Alchemist and Disruptor. If it was like melee and kind of tanky to compensate, and if it walked forward and spread the aura forward, that would be nice, I guess. It's kind of a close call. It was Batrider for Disruptor and DK for Witch Doctor or some other lock. cut down into 4 Lux at the end. I think that because we just had like this level 1 thing, we could have done that. We do lose the 4th tier undead at that point, which is still valuable. I think it would have been hard to beat that final board, though. I think 2nd place is about as well as we could have done there. I'm kind of digging this, Scrappy meme, honestly. What was that comp? I didn't see it at the end. That guy's comp. Here, I'm gonna take a wee real quick. But I wanna see that guy's comp and maybe like try it out. I don't know. Could be okay. I've heard some good things.